was some question about, I guess you can earn Monero. And then there's some burn mechanisms going on. So let's go ahead and listen to Rabbits. But that's what I read. Seemed like that's what my initial thoughts were when I read it, right? Which was like, oh, this is just, you know, salad with a cryptocurrency skin over it, right? Yeah, help me. Well, and so their hardware, here's the thing, here's the other thing that makes me think all of this, is that traditionally when you're changing the hardware requirements, there's some sort of change in the software that you are running, right? Which means that I think the requirement changes for Qubic are directly related to the type of work it's doing, which means it is more along the lines of like I said, like a salad with the face of cryptocurrency over it, right? Oh, there's no audio for you guys? Okay, let's fix that real quick. I think I know what it is. Here, we'll restart it. Here we go. Let's take a look at it. We'll have them clip that out. You should be able to hear it now.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabbit here, and Qubic has enabled XMR mining live on their network. Now, what does this mean? That's kind of what we're going to go through.
It needs to dust his router
right now and help you understand
or is that just a switch?
What is
Probably
going on with Qubic and their XMR mining. As most of us are well aware, they constantly change the algorithm, constantly changing the hardware and requirements needed to even mine Qubic. But over the past 3 months...
So that's what I was responding to earlier, which was like change in specifications means change in software requirements, right? Which means like that's probably directly related to what they dub useful proof of work, right? Which, as I've seen useful proof of work as of right now, there's no algorithm in which... So there's no algorithm in which the useful work is done within the algorithm itself, right? So the way it works, like so we talked about vert hash, right? And part of the thing is like, well, you can game while you mine, right? And so in the case of like Dynex, for example, you have the portion that's doing the proof of work and then the other portion, which is a model that you're solving. So I presume Qubic is assigning that model, and then there's software requirements for those models in particular that are forcing them to make these requirement changes for the mining itself.
So it has been locked while they try to finalize and update some of their protocols, I guess. I don't really know what's going on in that aspect, but bottom line is it has been dominated by GPUs over the past 3 months with no sight of CPUs getting any better. So why did they enable XMR mining, as XMR is dominated by CPUs and GPUs are absolutely horrible when it comes to XMR? So what's going on here is CPUs are mining XMR in the idle time on Qubic. And guess what? Here's the kicker. You are not getting paid for it. So all the XMR that is being mined on your CPU mining farms is going to the dev come from beyond. I don't know if it's multiple.
So it's literally salad.
Wallet setup or not, but as far as I'm aware, it's going to the Qubic dev. And what he is doing is he is then going to sell that XMR, buy Qubic, and then burn it. Therefore, you know, causing a deflationary while keeping the price up.
Deflationary is just price manipulation, right? So I like how, like, all the time in cryptocurrency, we like to be like, well, they're burning it, so it's deflationary, so it's good. No, motherfucker, it's called price manipulation. Like, I'm so tired of these terms. Like, we're going to obfuscate essentially, you know, ethically questionable practices with, you know, financial terms that don't mean shit. Like, and it's everywhere. And I get it. Like, I'm going to continue to bleed followers and viewers on my channel as I call this stuff out, because I'm going to piss everybody off. But that is what it is. And like, I just like, I feel, and I get it. Like, you can't like bite the hand that feeds, blah, blah, blah. But like, I feed myself, bitch. Like, I don't need it.
On Qubic through them buy orders. So
God
in theory,
damn.
it should help Qubic go up. But why do CPU miners got to take the brunt of it? Well, they do claim that they have a more unique unicorn community where they think everybody loves Qubic and they support the network, and CPU miners will have no issue donating their power for GPU side to make more money. That makes zero sense in my mind. Most of the
I haven't looked, like, I was mining Qubic over here on this 5080, right? But isn't the part of the requirements, I suppose, should I say, the CPU related, even if you are GPU mining? I need to look at that
miners
again.
that I'm aware of and that follow the channel are obviously profit driven. They do not donate their power for the good of a project. Hash rate follows price. If profits are there, hash rate will come. They do not mine for free and not even get anything out of it. So I did ask Come From Beyond about this situation. You can see everything right here, fully transparent. So, hey, when XMR gets implemented in the next week or two, will the algo change to favor CPUs again so they can actually come to mine? It's 1 to 2 weeks migration, should be gradual to give miners time to choose pools. Main mining algo changes are frozen now until we finish custom mining. Yeah, but when you're able to change it again, will it move back to more CPU friendly to bring in CPUs to mine Monero? Don't make much sense to CPU mine the way it sits currently.
So what he says here, the Come From Beyond guy says that we don't know, depends on the Monero mining launch. What he's saying is it's like the reward structure is purely dependent on how much the dev is making off the work your machine's doing. So it's salad. Well, I mean, that is what it is. So what he's saying is if the dev is, so if the dev with this implementation is making a lot of money off of Monero, which is driven by CPUs, then CPUs will become more profitable on Qubic by nature of the Monero mining being more profitable for the developer. So I can interpret that for you, right?
With GPUs blowing them away. That we don't know. Depends on Monero mining launch. Like, how can you not foresee things where you're dominated by a piece of hardware that cannot mine Monero, but you want to mine Monero and you don't have the hardware to support it, you know, and you're not even going to pay the people to do so in the first place. So everything is really weird going on right now. I don't really know or understand what the thinking behind.
So that's what I'm telling you what the thinking is. So hopefully, Rabbit, you watch this. What's happening is the work your system doing is profitable for the project. And depending on how profitable the work is, which in this case is the Monero mining, will determine the profitability of the type of equipment you give to the Qubic network to mine. That's how I would interpret that entire thing.
Behind it all really is. Now, with all that being said, if you are a CPU miner and you want the option to still mine other coins, there is one pool that I'm aware about that is allowing people to do so, and that is the Jet Ski Qubic pool. So be sure to check out this mining pool if you are a CPU miner looking to do it. This is the pool I actually do use when I do mine Qubic off and on, and I'm really enjoying it. On top of it, as one of the fastest miners out there. So check out the Jet Ski Qubic pool. If you want a setup guide on how to utilize it, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to get that
Hey,
together.
Nakudo, welcome to the stream.
Now, there are a few people out there that do have very cheap power costs, and they don't have any issues, and they do love crypto for the tech. Now, that is very, very rare, and I don't think Qubic really has that. Let me know in the comments what you think about everything I have said so far, because I really want to know.
I don't think that it's Qubic doesn't have the community with cheap power that cares about the cryptocurrency itself. I think that the value, like, I think that Qubic, from a technical perspective, isn't clear on what they're doing and transparent. And I think that that is why they don't have that audience, right? Whereas, like, if you take a look at something like Ravencoin, which is completely open source, like, is very transparent, blah, 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 you will have the people on, like, Ravencoin that have been mining it at a loss since the day it came out, right?
You plan on donating your power costs for the good of GPUs out of your CPUs to make nothing. So that's pretty much what's going on currently with Qubic.
Well, you're not making nothing. You're getting the Qubic payout, right? It's just enabling that on your system to generally increase the profitability of the Qubic network for themselves. Yeah, so Agent is asking, like, so you're saying even though the miner is reporting it's on the CPU while mining Qubic, it's actually mining XMR. Yeah, like, this has been done, but, like, there's been applications that have been caught doing this type of thing in the past, right? Like I said, the best example is like Salad, right? You don't know what work. I mean, Salad will tell you what work it's doing, but, like, you don't know 24/7 because you're not around your computer all the time. You're just getting paid out on PayPal, and it's doing whatever it's doing for direct financial gain of the developer of Salad. And I think, like I said, what you're seeing with Qubic is effectively that, with as far as their useful proof of work portion goes, right? Their solver portion, like that mining portion with the solving, that's a lot closer from a technical perspective to, like, TON mining, right? Effectively. For just to give you, like, the easiest comparisons. But, like, the useful proof of work portion, that's what it's doing. It's just a cryptocurrency mask for Salad. Or Vast AI, or, you know, pick your project. I just use Salad because Salad has the cryptocurrency mining integration into it as well. And the reason you integrate the cryptocurrency portion into it is for 24/7 revenue generation, right? So let's say you're running what is effectively an AI compute company as Qubic for the useful proof of work side of things. And you need to generate income. Well, whenever there's no models for the useful proof of work, that dev isn't getting paid. So what he is doing is saying, okay, well, what I can do is add on this Monero mining. That will be part of the useful work, and that will supplement, because the goal is essentially to have other people's equipment working 100% of the time on the useful proof of work side of things for you. That's the goal. It's 100% uptime, essentially, just like it would be in any other technological industry. But that uptime means you have to have that work. Well, you're not going to have AI workloads 100% of the time. So you need to figure out what to do with that other time. And what they're doing for that other time is XMR mining. Anyways, that's what's going on. I think I got a better handle on it. Thanks, Rabbit, for a little bit of the catch up, and then that helped me understand it. Make sure you guys go like the video. If you're not subbed, I'm sure you're subbed to Rabid at this point. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Crypto Mining Show. If you would like to see more from this particular episode, take a look up here. Don't forget to also subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support me directly, you can go to sonofatech.locals.com and become a member. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next Tuesday.